Numbers, chapter 1. The men of Israel are counted. The Lord spoke to Moses in the tent of meeting. It happened in the desert of Sinai. The Lord spoke to him on the first day of the second month. It was the second year after the Israelites came out of Egypt. The Lord said, "Count all the men of Israel. Make a list of them by their tribes and families. List every man by name. List them one by one. Count all the men able to serve in the army. They must be 20 years old or more. I want you and Aaron to make a list of them group by group. One man from each tribe must help you. Those who help must be the heads of their families. Here are the names of the men who must help you. From the tribe of Reuben will come Eliezer, the son of Shedeur. From the tribe of Simeon will come Shelmiel, the son of Zurishaddai. From the tribe of Judah will come Nahshon, the son of Amminadab. From the tribe of Issachar will come Nathaniel, the son of Zuar. From the tribe of Zebulun will come Eliab, the son of Helon. From the tribe of Ephraim will come Elishama, the son of Ammuhad. From the tribe of Manasseh will come Gamaliel, the son of Pedahzur. Ephraim and Manasseh are Joseph's two sons. From the tribe of Benjamin will come Abdian, the son of Gideoni. From the tribe of Dan will come Ahaziah, the son of Ammishaddai. From the tribe of Asher will come Pagiel, the son of Ochran. From the tribe of Gad will come Elisaphat, the son of Deuel. From the tribe of Naphtali will come Ahara, the son of Enan. These were the men appointed from the community. They were the leaders of the tribes of their people. They were the heads of the major families in Israel. Moses and Aaron went and got the men whose names had been given to them. Then Moses and Aaron gathered all the men of Israel together. It was the first day of the second month. The people wrote down the tribe and family they belonged to. The men 20 years old or more were listed by name. They were listed one by one. Everything was done just as the Lord had commanded Moses. So Moses counted them in the desert of Sinai. Here is the number of men from the tribe of Reuben. He is Israel's oldest son. All the men able to serve in the army were counted. They were 20 years old or more. They were listed by name. They were listed one by one. They were listed according to their records of their tribes and families. The number from the tribe of Reuben was 46,500. Here is the number of men from the tribe of Simeon. All the men able to serve in the army were counted. They were 20 years old or more. They were listed by name. They were listed one by one. They were listed according to the records of their tribes and families. The number from the tribe of Simeon was 59,300. Here is the number of men from the tribe of Gad. All the men able to serve in the army were counted. They were 20 years old or more. They were listed by name. They were listed according to the records of their tribes and families. The number from the tribe of Gad was 45,650. Here is the number of men from the tribe of Judah. All the men able to serve in the army were counted. They were 20 years old or more. They were listed by name. They were listed according to the records of their tribes and families. The number from the tribe of Judah was 74,600. Here is the number of men from the tribe of Issachar. All the men able to serve in the army were counted. They were 20 years old or more. They were listed by name. They were listed according to the records of their tribes and families. The number from the tribe of Issachar was 54,400. Here is the number of men from the tribe of Zebulun. All the men able to serve in the army were counted. They were 20 years old or more. They were listed by name. They were listed according to the records of their tribes and families. The number from the tribe of Zebulun was 57,400. Here is the number of men from the tribe of Ephraim. He is the son of Joseph. All the men able to serve in the army were counted. They were 20 years old or more. They were listed by name. They were listed according to the records of their tribes and families. The number from the tribe of Ephraim was 40,500. Here is the number of men from the tribe of Manasseh. He is the son of Joseph. All the men able to serve in the army were counted. They were 20 years old or more. They were listed by name. They were listed according to the records of their tribes and families. The number from the tribe of Manasseh was 32,200. Here is the number of men from the tribe of Benjamin. All the men able to serve in the army were counted. They were 20 years old or more. They were listed by name. They were listed according to the records of their tribes and families. The number from the tribe of Benjamin was 35,400. Here is the number of men from the tribe of Dan. All the men able to serve in the army were counted. They were 20 years old or more. They were listed by name. They were listed according to their records of their tribes and families. The number from the tribe of Dan was 62,700. Here is the number of men from the tribe of Asher. All the men able to serve in the army were counted. They were 20 years old or more. They were listed by name. They were listed according to the records of their tribes and families. The number from the tribe of Asher was 41,500. Here is the number of men from the tribe of Naphtali. All the men able to serve in the army were counted. They were 20 years old or more. They were listed by name. They were listed according to the records of their tribes and families. The number from the tribe of Naphtali was 53,400. These were the men counted by Moses and Aaron. The 12 leaders of Israel helped them. There was one leader from each tribe. The men who were counted were able to serve in Israel's army. All of them were 20 years old or more. They were counted by family by family. The total number of men was 603,550. But the families of the tribe of Levi were not counted along with the others. The Lord had spoken to Moses. He had said, "You must not count the men from the tribe of Levi. Do not include them when you list the other men of Israel. Instead, put the Levites in charge of the holy tent. That is where the tablets of the covenant law are to be kept. The Levites will be in charge of everything that belongs to the holy tent. They must carry the tent and everything that belongs to it. They must take care of it. They must set up camp around it. When the holy tent must be moved, the Levites must take it down. And when the tent must be set up, the Levites must do it. Anyone else who approaches it must be put to death. The Israelites must set up their tents by military groups. All of them must be in their own camps under their own flags. But the Levites must set up their tents around the holy tent. That's where the tablets of the covenant law are kept. Then I will not be angry when the community of Israel. The Levites will be responsible for taking care of the tent." The Israelites did everything just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Numbers chapter 2. The tribes counted around the tent of meeting. The tribes camped around the tent of meeting. The Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron. He said, "The Israelites must camp around the tent of meeting, but they must not camp too close to it. All of them must camp under their flags and under the banners of their families. The groups of the camp of Judah must be on the east side. They must set up camp toward the sunrise. They must camp under their own flag. The leader of the tribe of Judah is Nahshon, the son of Amminadab. There are 74,600 men in Nahshon's group. The tribe of Issachar will camp next to them. The leader of the tribe of Issachar is Nathaniel, the son of Zuar. There are 54,400 men in Nathaniel's group. The tribe of Zebulun will be next. The leader of the tribe of Zebulun is Elab, the son of Helon. There are 57,400 men in Elab's group. So a total of 186,400 men will be set apart for the camp of Judah. They will be arranged group by group. They will start out first. The groups of the camp of Reuben will be on the south side. They will be under their flag. The leader of the tribe of Reuben is Elizur, the son of Shedeur. There are 46,500 men in Elizur's group. The tribe of Simeon will camp next to them. The leader of the tribe of Simeon is Shelumiel, the son of Zurishaddai. There are 59,300 men in Shelumiel's group. The tribe of Gad will be next. The leader of the tribe of Gad is Elisaphath, the son of Deuel. There are 45,650 men in Elisaphath's group. So a total of 151,450 men will be set apart for the camp of Reuben. They will be set arranged group by group. They will start out second. The second camp of the Levites will start out. The tent of meeting will go with them. They will march in the middle of the other camps. They will start out in the same order as they do when they set up camp. Each one will be in their own place under their flag. The groups of the camp of Ephraim will be on the west side. They will be under their flag. The leader of the tribe of Ephraim is Elishama, the son of Ammihud. There are 40,500 men in Elishama's group. The tribe of Manasseh will be next to them. The leader of the tribe of Manasseh is Gamliel, the son of Pedahuzur. There are 32,200 men in Gamliel's group. The tribe of Benjamin will be next. The leader of the tribe of Benjamin is Abidan, the son of Gideoni. There are 35,400 men in Abidan's group. So a total of 108,100 men will be set apart for the camp of Ephraim. They will be arranged group by group. They will start out third. The groups of the camp of Dan will be on the north side. They will be under their flag. The leader of the tribe of Dan is Ahazer, the son of Ammishdai. There are 62,700 men in Ahazer's group. The tribe of Asher will camp next to them. The leader of the tribe of Asher is Pagiel, the son of Okran. There are 41,500 men in Pagiel's group. The tribe of Naphtali will be next. The leader of the tribe of Naphtali is Ahara, the son of Enan. There are 53,400 men in Hariah's group. So a total of 157,600 men will be set apart for the camp of Dan. They will start out last. They will march under their flags. Those are the men of Israel. They were counted according to their families. The total number of all men in the camps is 603,550, group by group. But the Levites weren't counted along with the other men of Israel. That's what the Lord had commanded Moses. So the Israelites did everything the Lord had commanded Moses. That's the way they set up camp under their flags. And that's the way they started out. Each of them marched out with their own tribe and family. Numbers chapter 3, the Levites. Here is the story of the family line of Aaron and Moses. It belongs to the time when the Lord spoke to Moses at Mount Sinai. Aaron's oldest son was Nadab. Aaron's other sons were Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. Those were the names of Aaron's sons. They were the anointed priests. They were given authority to serve the Lord as priests. But Nadab and Abihu made an offering to the Lord by using fire that wasn't allowed to the Lord by using fire. But Nadab and Abihu made an offering to the Lord by using fire that wasn't allowed. So they died in front of him. That happened in the desert of Sinai. They didn't have any sons. Only Eleazar and Ithamar served as priests, while their father Aaron was living. The Lord spoke to Moses. He said, "Bring the men of the tribe of Levi to Aaron the priest. They will help him. They must work at the tent of meeting for Aaron and for the whole community. They must do what needs to be done at the holy tent. They must take care of everything connected with the tent of meeting. When they do, they are acting for all the Israelites. Give the Levites to Aaron and his sons. They are the men of Israel who must be given completely to him. Appoint Aaron and his sons to serve as priests. Anyone else who approaches the sacred tent must be put to death." The Lord also said to Moses, "I have taken the Levites from among the Israelites. I have taken them in place of the son born first to each woman in Israel. The Levites belong to me. That's because every male born first to a mother is mine. In Egypt I struck down all the males firstborn. I did it when I set apart for myself every male born first to a mother in Israel. That is true for men and animals alike. They belong to me. I am the Lord. The Lord spoke to Moses in the desert of Sinai. He said, Count the Levites by their family groups. Count every male a month old or more. So Moses counted them. He did just as the word of the Lord had commanded. The sons of Levi were Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. The major families from Gershon were Libni and Shimei. The major families from Kohath were Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel. The major families from Merari were Mahli and Mushi. These were the major families of the Levites. The families of Libni and Shimei belonged to the family of Gershon. All the males a month old or more were counted. There were 7,500 of them. The families of Gershon had to camp on the west side. They had to camp behind the holy tent. The leader of the families of Gershon was Elisaph, the son of Lael. Here are the duties of the families of Gershon at the tent of meeting. They were responsible for taking care of the holy tent and its coverings. They took care of the curtain at the entrance to the tent of meeting. They took care of the curtains of the courtyard, and they took care of the curtain at the entrance to the courtyard. The courtyard was all around the holy tent and altar. The families of Gershon also took care of the ropes. In fact, they had to take care of everything connected with the use of all those things. The families of Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel belonged to the family of Kohath. All the males a month or more were counted. There were 8,600 of them. The families of Kohath were responsible for taking care of the sacred tent. They had to camp on the south side of the holy tent. The leader of the families of Kohath was Elizaphan, the son of Uzziel. They were responsible for taking care of the Ark of the Covenant law. They took care of the table for the holy bread. They took care of the lampstand and the 2 altars. They took care of things used for serving in the sacred tent. They also took care of the inner curtain. In fact, they had to take care of everything connected with the use of all those things. The chief leader of the Levites was Eleazar. He was the son of Aaron the priest. Eleazar was appointed over those responsible for taking care of the sacred tent. The families of Mahli and Mushi belonged to the family of Merari. All the males a month old or more were counted. There were 6,200 of them. The leader of the families of Merari was Zuriel, the son of Abihail. The families of Merari had to camp on the north side of the holy tent. They were responsible for taking care of the frames of the tent. They took care of its crossbars, posts, and bases. They took care of all its supplies. In fact, they had to take care of everything connected with the use of all those things. They also took care of the posts of the courtyard around the holy tent, and they took care of the bases, tent stakes, and ropes. Moses and Aaron's sons had to camp to the east of the holy tent. They had to camp toward the sunrise in front of the tent of meeting. They were responsible for taking care of the sacred tent. They had to do it for the Israelites. Anyone else who approached the tent would be put to death. The total number of Levites, males, was 22,000. They were counted family by family. Every male a month old or more was counted. Moses and Aaron counted them, just as the Lord had commanded. The Lord said to Moses, "Count all the Israelite males born first in their families. Count all those a month old or more. Make a list of their names. Take the Levites for me in their place, and take the livestock of the Levites in place of all the male animals in Israel born first to their mothers. I am the Lord." So Moses counted all the oldest sons in Israel. He did it just as the Lord had commanded him. There were 22,273 of those sons a month old or more. They were listed by name. The Lord also said to Moses, "Take the Levites in place of all the males born first in Israel. Also take the livestock of the Levites in place of the livestock of Israel. The Levites belong to me. I am the Lord. But there are more males born first in Israel than there are male Levites. Collect 2 ounces of silver for each of them. Weigh it out according to the standard weights and used in the sacred tent. Give the silver to Aaron and his sons. It will buy the freedom of the additional sons in Israel." So Moses collected the silver from the additional sons in Israel to buy their freedom. The Levites took the place of all the others. Moses collected 35 pounds of silver. It was weighed out according to the weights used in the sacred tent. Moses collected it from the oldest sons in Israel. He gave the silver to Aaron and his sons. He did it just as the Lord had commanded him. Numbers chapter 4. The families of Kohath. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Count the Levites who belong to the families of Kohath. Make a list of them family by family. Count all the men 30 to 50 years old. Those are the men who must come and serve at the tent of meeting. Here is the work the men of Kohath must do at the tent of meeting. They must take care of the things that are very holy. When the camp is ready to move, Aaron and his sons must go into the tent. They must take down the curtain that hides the ark where the tablets of the covenant law are kept. They must cover the ark with the curtain. They must cover that with strong leather. They must spread a solid blue cloth over the leather, and they must put the poles in place. They must spread a blue cloth over the table for the holy bread. They must put the plates, dishes, and bowls on the cloth. They must also put the jars for drink offerings on it. The bread that is always kept there must remain on it. They must spread a bright red cloth over everything, and they must cover that with the strong leather. And they must put the poles of the table in place. They must get a blue cloth. With it they must cover the lampstand that gives light. They must also cover its lamps, trays, and wick cutters. And they must cover all its jars. The jars are for the olive oil used in the lampstand. Then Aaron and his sons must wrap the lampstand and all the things used with it. They must cover it with strong leather, and they must put it on a frame to carry it. They must spread a blue cloth over the gold altar for burning incense. They must cover that with the strong leather, and they must put the poles of the altar in place. They must get all the things used for serving in the sacred tent. They must wrap them in a blue cloth. They must cover that with strong leather. Then they must put those things on a frame to carry them. They must remove the ashes from the bronze altar for burnt offerings. They must spread a purple cloth over it. Then they must place all the tools on it. The tools are used for serving the altar. They include the pans for carrying ashes. They also include the meat, forks, shovels, and sprinkling bowls. Aaron and his sons must cover the altar with the strong leather, and they must put its poles in place. Aaron and his sons must cover all the holy things that belong to the holy tent. Only then are the men of Kohath to come and carry everything. They must do so only when the camp is ready to move, but they must not touch the holy things. If they do, they will die. The men of Kohath must carry everything in the tent of meeting. Eleazar the priest will be in charge of the olive oil for the light. He is the son of Aaron. Eleazar will be in charge of the sweet-smelling incense. He will be in charge of the regular grain offering and the anointing oil. He will be in charge of the entire holy tent. He will also be in charge of everything in it. That includes all the things that belong to the tent. The Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron. He said, "Make sure that the Kohath families are not destroyed from among the Levites. I want them to live and not die when they come near the very holy things. So here's what you must do for them. Aaron and his sons must go into the sacred tent and tell each man what to do. They must tell each man what to carry. But the men of Kohath must not go in and look at the holy things. They must not look at them even for a moment. If they do, they will die. The Lord said to Moses, "Count the families of Gershon. Make a list of them family by family. Count all the men 30 to 50 years old. Those are the men who must come and serve at the tent of meeting. Here is how the families of Gershon must serve. They must carry things. They must carry the curtains of the holy tent of meeting. They must carry its covering and the outside covering of strong leather. They must carry the curtains that cover the entrance to the tent of meeting. They must carry the curtains of the courtyard. The courtyard is all around the holy tent and altar. They must carry the curtain for the entrance. They must carry the ropes. They must carry all the supplies used for any purpose in the tent. The families of Gershon must do everything that needs to be done with those things. All their work must be done under the direction of Aaron and his sons. That includes carrying and everything else they do. Aaron and his sons must tell them what to carry and what will be their work. It is what the families of Gershon must do at the tent of meeting. They must work under the direction of Ithamar the priest. He is the son of Aaron. Count the families of Merari. Count them family by family. Count all the men 30 to 50 years old. Those are the men who must come and serve at the tent of meeting. Here is the work they must do at the tent of meeting. They must carry the frames of the holy tent. They must carry its crossbars, posts, and bases. They must also carry the posts of the courtyard. The courtyard is all around the holy tent, and they must carry the bases for the posts as well as their tent stakes and ropes. They must also carry all the supplies and everything connected with their use. Tell each man exactly what to carry. That is the work of the families of Merari must do at the tent of meeting. They must work under the direction of Ithamar the priest. He is the son of Aaron. Moses and Aaron and the leaders of the community counted the men of Kohath. They counted them family by family. They counted all the men from 30 to 50 years old. They were the men who came and served at the tent of meeting. There were 2,750 men. They were counted family by family. That was the total of all the men in the families of Kohath who served at the tent of meeting. Moses and Aaron counted them. They did just as the Lord had commanded through Moses. The men of Gershon were counted family by family. All the men 30 to 50 years old were counted. They were the men who came and served at the tent of meeting. There were 2,630 men. They were counted family by family. That was the total of the men in the families of Gershon who served at the tent of meeting. Moses and Aaron counted them. They did just as the Lord had commanded. The men of Merari were counted family by family. All the men from 30 to 50 years old were counted. They were the men who came and served at the tent of meeting. There were 3,200 men. They were counted family by family. That was the total of the men in the families of Merari. Moses and Aaron counted them. They did just as the Lord had commanded through Moses. So Moses and Aaron counted all the Levites. The leaders of Israel helped them. They counted the Levites family by family. All the men from 30 to 50 years old were counted. They were the men who came and served at the tent of meeting. They were also supposed to carry it. The total number of men was 8,580. Everything was done as the Lord had commanded through Moses. Each man was given his work, and each one was told what to carry. So they were counted just as the Lord had commanded Moses.